So we're here in Fresno, California. We just finished installing two Moen 62300 valves. These are straight out of Ferguson, so the valves that you had that came with the kits, you could return the whole kit and get trim or do what you want with those, but these come with the female threads on each side, as you can see here, female threads. The other valves have male threads, and it becomes problematic. You're using couplings and whatnot to try and make things work. Anyway, so this side of the wall, Robbie went ahead and demoed back the tile so we get in here and work on this one. So it's installed, got the tub spout stubbed out. The shower portion, which is on the top, is capped off because there's no shower head on this side, so tub only. Make sure that when you do go to order trim, I think he's already got the spout for this, that it's iron pipe, so you just have to find the right size nipple. They make them in 1/2 inch increments, starting at 1.5 inches, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. Whichever one works best, that's the one you'll use. Tighten it down, pipe dope Teflon tape to get your trim set. On this side, you are going to use this cover plate. I'll install it before I go, but this is where the top, this is a mud ring, which means when they go to when you go to put the tile back in, whatever you're going to do in this area, that is what you tile around. You can certainly take it off and do a square if that's easier for you. Just keep in mind that back in the back are some set screws. One of them I'm setting right now. This is where the trim, sorry I'm not even taking a picture of it. This is where the trim screw mounts. One at the top right, and then our top right off to the side, and then another one right here you can see lower left. So you know, you feel free to do whatever you would like to do, but when you get done, make sure that you have access to both of these trim holes. And you can see it back in here, right back in there, that's where the screw goes. So you can do a square, just make sure that that square is big enough so that you can get your screws in for your trim plate. So leave that on as a guide or take it off, totally up to you. This cartridge was flipped. Reason being is when we came to unassemble this piping, there was a union on this side. Typically, now that doesn't mean that this is what happened, but this is all I did from 87 to the early 90s was iron pipe, and when you put a valve in the wall with iron pipe, you used a union on the hot side. So that's the only information we have, is this would make this the hot water. So because this is, if it is the hot water, great. What we did is we took the cartridge out and we walked Robbie through this. He knows how to do this now. We can certainly come out and change him if you have a problem, but you pull the cartridge out, you flip it upside down, put it back in. That enables you to get the flow that you want. The faucet will be cold, warm, hot all the way going this way, and that one up there is in the correct position because the union is on the hot side, so we didn't flip that cartridge over. Any trouble with these not working correctly, then you know, if it goes hot, warm, cold, then you know that the cartridge is upside down. But we did the best to make sure that this is it. We can't really run water in here and find out which is which because it'll flood this cavity down here. So this valve is set. This is all existing piping. All of this pipe existing to the home, 90 existing to the home. Everything else is ours. The nipple that's in here, the union that's right here, this little short nipple that sits right in between right there, the valve, the 62300, the plug, and then of course the other nipple right here. Then we've got about a 4.5 inch drop down right here, and then another 90, and this is just stubbed out just to you know, for say to something to tile around. This will come out eventually when you get ready to set your spout and get the right nipple in here. Back side of this one, this is the shower on the other side, and I'll just take a picture from this side. We wanted to get it close to center as we can. It's a pretty big hole over there. You can see same kind of ring that they had right here, this black mud plate. So what they used over there. So we've got it back over to center real nice, which is good. Got this valve installed. Got the union on the hot side. Again, this pipe is specific to the home. This was installed already. We didn't install this. We didn't install this pipe or this T or that T. That's all yours. But we did install this nipple right there, and this union, and this nipple, this valve, that nipple. And then because we were tight and trying to get a shower head back up in here, we went ahead and just make a conversion to the PEX. So we've got a brass adapter right here that takes us to the Uponor piping, and then of course a piece of pipe that goes up to the shower head. So one picture we will take from that side is the brass adapter that's coming through. You can see there's a brass fitting in there. That is it was called the drop ear 90. So it's got 3 screws in it, and then this is just stubbed out to keep the water from flowing everywhere for right now. So this is solid, but don't bump this. Don't hit this, don't drop something in it, don't knock this around, because if you pop one of these screws out, this is gonna be left loose, and then you'll have to go back there and try and do a repair. So be nice with this. these are pretty deep in the wall. You can see we're back here pretty far. And so what you're going to have to do is about an inch back further than what it should be, plus the tile is really deep. They make extension kits for these, and so we've put a couple on will call over at Ferguson at Ashland and Blackstone. You can go over there and pick those up. I would go ahead and get those and trim this guy out and see if that's going to fit. This is very thick tile. Normally, let me see, half, 1 1/4. Hard to say exactly how much buildup you've got in there, but it seems like you got about 1.5 inches. It's just real thick tile buildup because of the mortar base. But that extension should get you out far enough to get your handle set. If not, we'll have to do something different. There's not much we can do with this pipe because it's coming down the center of the wall, and there's a valve in the middle, and there's a valve on the bottom. So we kind of have to leave it where it's at. We did go ahead and get a nice block down here at the bottom. So you can see the block, and then two straps. That's for the spout. So this is really solid down here. This is not going anywhere. It's also, additionally, if you look straight down, you can see it's stubbing straight out at a 90-degree angle, which is nice. If it's pointing off to one side like that, then that's the way the tub spout sits. So that's sitting real nice. You should have you should be fine setting that trim. And then up here, we've got another block behind right there, and some more straps to isolate it. Additionally, up here, a couple blocks, one, and then of course that up in there, which is kind of hard to see. You've seen it from the other side, but up in there is the brass adapter that makes the transition stepping out of the wall. These are all like 3.5-inch brass screws, so that's solid. It's not going anywhere. 3.5-inch brass screws there. So this whole structure is blocked in real nice, real secure. So that's the scope of our work. Install 2 valves, get it tied back together. Please monitor this area while you can. Don't get in here real busy and start buttoning this side up, because this is where you're going to look. You're going to look at existing pipe, that T. You're going to look at the new pipes that we put in, including the valve. You're going to check this adapter. You're going to check this plug. Same thing for the plug down there, the union. I mean, everything. This is your time to monitor it for any weeping of water. Any water whatsoever, give us a call. We'll come back out, take care of it right away. We do not want to close this up without making sure that that it's completely sealed and that there's no water leaking in this. So this is the time to do it. Leave this portion as long as you can, get the rest of the building buttoned up, and then go ahead and cover this up when you're ready. Outside of that, this installation is done.